Good evening, everyone. So let's start the session. So to all those who know me or those who don't know me, I am Karthik Madhira. I am an IPS officer of the 2020 batch, and I had cleared the UPSC examination in 2019, and I have secured 103 rank in that attempt. So that was my fourth attempt. In the initial 3 attempts, I couldn't clear the prelims, and in the fourth attempt, I cleared the examination and got through. And today I am in the Indian Police Service and currently posted as the Assistant SP in Lonavla subdivision of Pune district in Maharashtra cadre. So I see. That today's session, it's about. So let me tell you. I'll take the session in English as well as Hindi. It will be a bilingual session. So आज का session mostly UPSC 2024 examination prelims examination oriented रहेगा, and मेरा strategy मैं explain करता हूँ, और मैंने पहले 3 अटेम्प्ट में मैंने क्या क्या गलतियाँ की है, और चौथी अटेम्प्ट में मैं क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट्स किया मेरे प्रिपरेशन में, मैंने स्ट्रैटेजी में क्या बदलाव किया था, उसके हिसाब से मैं वो बदलाव के वजह से मैं प्रीलिम्स क्लियर कर पाया था और उसके बाद मेंस और इंटरव्यू दे पाया था. So in the first 3 attempts, मेरा prelims में first attempt I gave the exam in 2016. I couldn't clear the prelims. उसमें I missed the cutoff by around 10 marks, and in 2017 attempt I again failed in the prelims, missed the cutoff by say 2-3 marks. And in the 2018 exam, I believe that was, in terms of the effort, it was extremely, I put in a lot of hard work, lot of effort went in. Effort मैंने चारों अटेम्प्ट में 2018 में लगाया था, फिर भी 2018 में मेरा प्रीलिम्स क्लियर नहीं हुआ था, and in 2019 I cleared the exam when I gave the prelims, and I got around 105 or 106 in the prelims, where the cutoff was around 98. So in the initial 3 attempts, I'll be doing it in point wise. Initially I'll be talking about my strategy, what changes I did in the fourth attempt, and after which there are few basic questions that have been given to me. I'll discuss on those aspects as well, and then at the end I'll take your questions, right? So in the first 3 attempts, the major mistake that I committed was I was completely I was studying too many sources. I was focusing on many sources. For instance, in 2018, for polity, I remember I used to study Lakshmikant, D.D. Basu, and also some other sources only for polity, and maybe 4-5 sources for polity. Then going forward in history, modern history, again I used to read 2-3 sources. Then again ज्योग्राफी के लिए भी 3-4 सोर्सेस पढ़ी है मैंने, और इकोनॉमिक्स के लिए भी बहुत सारे सोर्सेस पढ़ी है. बट उससे क्या हुआ था, तीसरे अटेम्प्ट में या पहले दोनों अटेम्प्ट में, आई वॉज एबल टू स्टडी ईच एंड एवरी सोर्स बट ओनली वंस और ट्वाइस. तो मेरे रिविजन के लिए मुझे टाइम नहीं मिल रहा था, तो मैक्सिमम 1-2 बार मैंने रिवाइज कर पाया था, उसके बाद मैं जाके डायरेक्टली एग्जाम दे रहा था. So I think that is not a good strategy. In my fourth attempt, what I did was I cut down my sources, limited my sources to only one source per subject. Say for polity, I followed Lakshmikant. Then for history, I chose modern, the spectrum. For economics, I followed Sriram IAS ke notes. So for every subject, I limited my sources to only one. So that helped me कि मैं लक्ष्मीकांत एक बार पहले अटेम्प्ट में एक बार या दो बार पढ़ सकता था, बट चौथी अटेम्प्ट में मैं लक्ष्मीकांत 4-5 बार आई कुड रिवाइज. आई कुड स्टिक टू द सेम सोर्स एंड रिवाइज rigorously. So that is one aspect that all of you need to keep in mind. And also while revising and also while studying, you need to be very good in your basics. Say if you read the NCERTs, उसके बाद आप standard books पे जाओगे, then you go forward to the current affairs. So UPSC के prelims में होने दो या फिर mains में होने दो, आपको बेसिक्स और स्टैटिक और डायनामिक पार्ट, दैट इज करंट पार्ट में मिक्स करके आपको क्वेश्चंस पूछा जाएगा. तो आपको दोनों में उतना ही ग्रिप होना चाहिए. तो पहले आपके बेसिक्स स्ट्रांग होने चाहिए, फिर उसके बाद आप करंट अफेयर्स पे फोकस कर सकते हो. और जब क्वेश्चंस पूछा जाएगा कि एक ऑप्शन, अगर प्रीलिम्स में एक क्वेश्चन में एक ऑप्शन स्टैटिक से आता है, एक ऑप्शन करंट अफेयर से आता है, तो फिर you'll have to link both of them and then understand what is being asked. So my suggestion to everyone would be stick to your basics first. Be so strong in your basics that once you're confident in your basics, then you can go forward. Go ahead and start your current affairs. So even for current affairs, most of you would be asking this. Current affairs have one proper source. For me, it was Vision IAS. I stuck to the Vision IAS monthly magazine and the PT 365. So any magazine which you feel is holistic, stick to that magazine and keep revising it multiple times. So initially start with your NCERTs, then move to the standard books, and finally your current affair magazines. So I guess we are only 3 months away from the 2024 prelims examination. I guess most of you have done your basic preparation, and now my suggestion in the last 3 months is don't go for any new sources, for any topic, any subject. उससे बेटर मेरा सजेशन ये है कि आप जितना भी आपने अभी तक पढ़ा है, तो उसको आप बार बार रिवाइज कीजिए. रिवाइज करके आप उसमें confidence, you have to ensure that you are confident in your preparation through proper revision. So next, going forward, the second suggestion from my end is stick to 2 or 3 test series. Identify 2 or 3 test series for prelims. I chose Vision IAS and Shankar IAS and Forum IAS during my preparation. So you can also choose. I don't know which test series are good right now. So you can choose 1 or 2 or 3 test series, and ensure you have 3 months time till the exam, till the prelims examination. So that is 90 days, exactly 90 days from today. So ensure कि आप अभी से 50 से 60 prelims papers आप solve करें. So once you do it, you can, once you start solving more questions, आपके जो strategy है, आपको पेपर को कैसे अप्रोच करना चाहिए, ये सारे आप अपने टेस्ट सीरीज में आप अपने strategies को यूज कर सकते हैं. तो at least for the next 50 to 60 days, ensure that you do one test at least per day. So that would amount to 50 to 60 days in the next 2 months, right? So also ensure that you don't focus on the test results. मेरा एक्सपीरियंस मैं शेयर करता हूँ. 2018 एग्जामिनेशन में टेस्ट सीरीज में आई वाज रियली स्कोरिंग वेरी वेल. I used to give Insights IAS test series then. I used to score 130, 140 in the test series. Even 1 week before the examination, prelims examination, I had given an exam. So I scored around 135 to 140 if I'm right and if I remember it right. So I was very overconfident, and exam mein I couldn't clear the prelims, miss the cutoff by 5-6 marks. So my suggestions to each and every one of you, even if you score 50 in your test series or you score 150, it doesn't matter, because UPSC is a completely UPSC prelims, जो main prelims होता है वो it's a completely different ball game, and I think UPSC सबका बाप होता है. So you use your test series as a learning experience. Identify the weak areas where you're going wrong, or where you're going you're not feeling confident. Identify those areas and make sure you revise. Go back to your books, basic books, or the explanation that is given at the end of the test. Make sure you mark those areas and revise them and get confident in those areas. And also finally ensure that you do 4 to 5 all India mock tests, where you get to know what kind of questions each the institutes are asking. So give these exams in the classroom, so that you get the feel of the examination, or sitting in the classroom and giving the examination, you get that feel. So that would be my second aspect, that is identify 2-3 test series and start giving 50 to 60 mock tests. So the third aspect is previous year questions. Never neglect the previous year questions. I had neglected the previous year questions in my first two attempts. I didn't know what kind of questions UPSC would ask, because I haven't even gone and checked the try to check the the prelims papers. So someone is asking, please check the comments. As I said, once I share my strategy, I'll go ahead and take your questions. I'll take your questions once I finish with my from my end. I mean, once I share my strategy, there are 4-5 points which I would want to share. So previous year questions are a must. Ensure आप 10-15 years के questions आप previous year के GS के questions आप solve करें, तो आपको पता चलेगा कि आपको UPSC का पैटर्न क्या है, किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस UPSC पूछ रही है, और which areas you need to focus on, and you would get a hang of what kind of questions UPSC is asking. So also ensure when you last के 10-15 दिन, मेरा सजेशन ये है कि आप कोई भी टेस्ट सीरीज या मॉक्स कुछ भी मत कीजिए. लास्ट के 10-15 दिन आप ओनली इंश्योर कीजिए कि आप प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस ही सॉल्व कीजिए, ठीक है. और उसके साथ इंश्योर करें कि आप OMR शीट भी फिल करना प्रैक्टिस करें. यूजुअली क्या होता है, हम लोग सब पढ़ते हैं, सब अच्छे से करते हैं, रिवाइज भी करते हैं, बट एग्जामिनेशन में जाके हम लोग गड़बड़ करते हैं. तो यू नीड टू बी स्मार्ट इनफ. ये सब आपको प्रैक्टिस करना चाहिए. OMR शीट का फिलिंग कैसे होता है, ये सब आपको पहले से प्रैक्टिस करके रखना है. सो आई थिंक when you give the previous year questions, solve them, ensure you fill the OMR sheet as well. Then, as you know, our body, the fourth aspect is our body has a circadian rhythm. तो पहले के 2 अटेम्प्ट में मैंने क्या किया था, रात भर बैठ के मैं सुबह 4-5 बजे तक मैं बैठ के पढ़ता था. इवन एग्ज़ाम के 1 वीक पहले भी मैं ये सिमिलर प्रोसेस फॉलो करता था कि रात में सुबह 4-5 बजे तक मैं बैठ के पढ़ाई करता था. सो दैट डिस्टर्ब माई सर्कैडियन रिदम. आप रात में बैठ के पढ़ोगे, बट एग्ज़ाम तो आपको मॉर्निंग ही देना पड़ेगा. सो मॉर्निंग आपके जो 9:30 से 11:30 का GS पेपर 1 का स्लॉट है. So stick to that timings at least 1 month, 1.5 month before the examination. Ensure you change your preparation timings. Ensure you start studying in the morning and also solve the papers in the allotted time. That is from 9:30 to 11:30. So your body also adapts to the time where you need to be active. So exam takes place during 9:30 to 11:30, and in the evening around, I guess, 2:30 to 4:30, the CSAT paper. So that is the time where your mind needs to be 100% working. अगर आपको उस समय में नींद आ रही है, तो I think you're not active enough. So your mind needs to be working in that time period. So ensure your you're active during that period, so change your timings at least 1.5 months before the examination. Next, this session is mainly for the prelims, so I would be tackling on how to approach the prelims paper. In the first 3 attempts, when I didn't clear prelims, I didn't have any particular strategy or approach to the UPSC prelims examination. But in my 4th attempt, I made sure I had a strategy and an approach while giving the examination. So you have 2 hours of time to give the examination, right? So I made sure that I went through my paper at least 3 times. At least 3 times. So my strategy was, I used to identify 4 types of questions in the prelims paper. The first type is single statement questions. Say, example is, global competitiveness index report is given by which organization? So it can be WHO, International Monetary Fund, or World Economic Forum, or none of the above. These type of questions. So these are simple and straightforward. So I used to identify such kind of questions in my going forward in the first thing. So the answer for that is Global Economic Forum, World Economic Forum, sorry. So that kind of questions need to be identified first. This is my approach. You can try it out in your mock tests. So second type of questions that I used to identify were the 3 statement questions, say where the options could be 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 1, 2, 3, or none of the above, those kind of questions. And the third type of questions would be 4 statement or 5 statement questions. Say the options would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5. And none of the above. So those kind of questions. And finally, the 5th type of questions are the 2 statement questions. Then the options could be 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, and neither 1 and 2. These type of questions. So I used to categorize my paper into 4 type of questions, and I used to make sure that the order in which I used to attempt these questions was the one single statement questions first, then the 3 statement questions first, then 4 or more statement questions first, and then the 2 statement questions, which are very difficult to answer because you need to know both the statements in the 2 statement questions. So this would make my approach to giving the examination easier. And I also used to ensure that I went through the paper at least 3 times. So in the first 1 hour, I used to ensure that I went through the paper once. Then the second round, I used to do it in this 30 minutes. Second round in 30 minutes, and the 4th round in 15 to 20 minutes. Right? So this way, I used to make sure that I used to identify which questions to approach in an order, and also how many times I used to go through these questions. So this is the basic approach which I used in my 4th attempt, and that has been really helpful for me to clear this examination. I won't be saying that each one of you should follow this, but you can try this out. It has been helpful, and you can use this in your mocks, and then finally, if it is helpful, then you can go ahead and use it in your prelims examination. Then finally, focus on your mental health also. Mental health plays a very important role. For instance, in the first 3 attempts, I never focused on meditation, and this plays a very important role. I used to think that meditation is for old people and nothing to do with us. But in the 4th attempt, I realized that at least 10 minutes of meditation would help to concentrate better, to stay focused on the examination, and it did prove to be right. So, and also ensure you do physical exercise of at least 30 minutes, walk or some game, at least to keep your mind and body in condition, and you stay focused and concentrated. So I think these are the basic aspects that I wanted to touch upon, considering the prelims examination approaching in 3 months. I also have been given few basic questions that that were wanted to be touched upon. So how should I plan my revision schedule for the next 3 months? Which subjects or topics should be prioritized for revision? So how do you plan your revision schedule for this? I would suggest take up the mock tests subject wise. Say maybe if you're solving 50 tests in the next 90 days, so at least some 10 tests of economics, 10 tests of polity, then modern history, ancient history, art and culture, geography and environment, and the current affairs. So at least 10 tests of economics if you take up. If you're doing economics tests today or for the next 7 days, ensure you do some other subject to revise. Your static subject, say polity, needs to be revised, and also ensure that you do your current affairs revision. So your revision schedule must include 3 aspects in my opinion. The first is your subject on which you would be taking up the mock tests. The next is your static subject which you want to revise from your books, from your standard books or the NCERTs. And the third would be your current affairs. So you can plan your revision schedule on these lines. Then which subjects or topics should be prioritized for revision? There is no shortcut to success. All the subjects are important, but if you ask me the order, I would say polity first, economics, then modern history, medieval and art and culture, and then environment and geography. And current affairs, of course, you can't skip them at all. So this would be the basic order in which you would take up the subjects for revision. So how often should I take mock tests in the final phase of preparation? What should be my approach to analyzing mock test results? So as I already mentioned, since there are 90 days left for the prelims examination, so I would suggest 50 to 60 mock tests are necessary in my opinion to keep you active in the exam mode, and also help you revise and identify which areas you're weak or you're not up to mark. So I think 50 to 60 would be better. And to approach your approach to analyzing mock test results, as I already said, don't analyze your test results because test series or the coaching centers which they come up for the test series, the test series that they come up with, I don't think you need to focus more or waste your energy on analyzing your results. Even if you get 50 or 150, it doesn't matter, because ultimately how much you get in the prelims examination matters, right? And all my suggestion is use the mock tests only for as a learning experience. Use the mock test as a learning experience. Identify the areas where you need to work, you need to put more effort, identify such areas and work upon them. Right? Are there any specific areas within subjects where I need more focus? I think that this additional resources for specific subjects, I would not suggest any additional resources right now, because this is not the time to go for new sources. It is better you identify the areas that you are weak or you need more revision. Your next 90 days strategy, as someone is asking already, is 90 days strategy is only based on revision, and the revision schedule, revision topics I've already mentioned. So any tips for balancing revision across multiple subjects? As I said, if you do this, the revision strategy that I mentioned, that is the mock test on one subject, then your static subject, revision of static subject, that would be on another subject, and the current affairs. That way you would be covering current affairs plus 2 subjects in maybe say 1 week to 10 days. So how should I stay updated with current affairs, and how can I integrate them into my preparation? Any advice on focusing on dynamic portions of the syllabus? As I already said, first you need to be thorough with your basics. say for instance polity subject, anti-defection law. You need to know what is anti-defection law beforehand. So that is the static part. So what exactly is happening in using the anti-defection law in any state assembly or in the parliament? So that is current related. So any amendments that have come up, that is current related. So I think this is how you need to be thorough with your basics and then move on to the current affairs to integrate them along with your basics. So current affairs strategy or the sources I've already mentioned. Stick to any one institute magazine. Any magazine would do which you think is holistic and covers all the sources. For me personally, I have followed Vision IAS Current Affairs, the monthly magazines, plus the PT 365 or the Mains 365. So I think that would be that would help. If there are any new current affairs sources in the market which I don't know, so you can always opt for any of them. So strategies for maintaining physical and mental well-being during this intense period. So I think it would be the next 90 days would be very hectic. It would be very overwhelming for each and everyone because it is ultimately the examination would come up in 90 days. So as I suggested already, for the mental well-being, take up meditation or yoga for at least 10-15 minutes in a day. So that would help you stay up to date. That would help you stay active. Your mind would be fresh and help you concentrate better. And also for the physical well-being, I've suggested take up some sport or any physical activity for 30 minutes at least. So that would help you stay calm and also balance your mental health. So any specific do's and don'ts for the final weeks, I've already mentioned. Change your sleep cycle. Your sleep cycle should be attuned to how you would be, as per the timings of the examination. So change your sleep cycles. If you're planning to change it now, well and good. Otherwise, at least 1.5 months before the examination, change your sleep cycle. That would help to focus better and stay active during the time that is required. If you're sleeping for between 9:30 to 11:30, doesn't make sense how much ever hard work you put in. So be smart enough to identify these things and change your sleep cycles. Also, at least 10 to 15 days before the examination, don't give any institute tests or the mock tests. Focus only on the previous year questions. Right? Yeah. So that's it from the questions that I have and the strategy that I wanted to share. So now I would be taking the questions, so you can shoot. So you can ask me, type the questions in the comment section. I would be happy to address you. So please give some tips for geography. I face issues while studying it. For geography, it's for me also it is a hard subject. Geography for me, particularly, I focused on the NCRTs, the 11th and 12th NCRTs. So for that, now I think it would be. Don't take up any new sources to whatever you have opted for preparation. I think it is better to stick to one source, whatever you have revised. Also focus on the mapping aspect. There are many institutes which explain the geography related mapping on YouTube and also live classes, I guess. So you can choose any one institute and make sure you do mapping thoroughly. And also the basic concepts need to be thorough. For instance, geomorphology, oceanography, all these things you need to be thorough in your basics. So I think if you have time now, it is high time, in 90 days left. So if you have time, make sure you go through the NCRTs. So tips for current affairs notes making. Current affairs notes making, I would not suggest notes making, but if you because everything, each and everything is already mentioned in the magazine that you read. So if you're not reading any magazine, then I would suggest making notes. But now I would not recommend note making. Stick to the PT 365s or the compiled notes for current affairs. That would help. Suggest magazine name. As I've told you already, I have followed Vision IAS current affairs notes, so that is something which you can also take up. So a lot of you are asking about optional strategy. My optional was sociology. So many of you are asking for history optional or geography optional, which I won't be able to. I'm not the right person. But I would suggest for now, don't focus on the optional, just 90 days. So only if you clear the prelims, that you'll be able to write the optional. So for all those who are planning to give the next attempt, I think I will make next year examination. I think I'll talk to UPSC Guide and come up with another live session where I can talk on the long-term strategy and also on ethics, mains preparation and the optional strategy. Strategy for economics. Economics, I followed Sriram IAS notes and also the current affairs notes, as well as Mrunal economy videos for limited. If I didn't understand any particular topic, then I used to focus on. I used to watch Mrunal IAS, Mrunal economy videos. So Sriram IAS is good, which I followed, and also there is some current affairs notes would do, and also focus on the budget and the economic survey. So the direct questions could be asked from these aspects. Yeah, for the CSAT is becoming tougher and tougher every year. So ensure you're thorough in your CSAT topics, be it the math or the logical reasoning or the comprehension. Ensure you are properly focusing on CSAT. The best option would be at least start 1.5-2 months before the prelims examination. Solve the previous year questions, at least 10 to 12 years questions from previous years, and I think that would help. Otherwise, take some book like Arihant CSAT book, where you have topic wise questions and you can solve them. A lot of YouTube online videos which help the aspirants in CSAT, so you can also watch them. So tips for history, I think you need to there's no other tip than revision. You have to revise as many times as possible, because there are lot of facts. You can make some mnemonics to remember and memorize the facts in history. And also one good suggestion from my end would be, if you discuss with your core group, with your friends, who don't waste time. So ensure you discuss with them so that you will be able to remember well. So I'm doing a job as well. So how do I manage the studies? So for all those who are doing who are preparing part time, I'm not the right person, but my suggestion to every one of you would be who are also working as well as preparing. Ensure you put in 6 to 7 hours of quality time for preparation. Only then it would be possible, because otherwise studying 2-3 hours, not able to cover the entire syllabus, would not help. So make sure you find time, at least in the morning or in the night when you come back from work. Make sure you put in 6 to 7 hours of quality work, quality time into your preparation. Tips for optional: political science, law. I'm not the right person because my optional was sociology. Maybe for sociology I can come up with another other video. प्रीलिम्स की स्ट्रैटेजी बताओ भाई, अभी तक तो बताया था स्ट्रैटेजी, प्रीलिम्स का ही स्ट्रैटेजी बताया था. Any other questions? Notes for UPSC. Notes for UPSC, I think I would not suggest. Only if you think it is very necessary, then you make notes. Otherwise, say for instance, if you take up Lakshmikant is itself properly written notes. So each and every fact in Lakshmikant is necessary. If you start writing, taking up writing, making notes from Lakshmikant again, you'll end up writing another book. So be very selective in making notes. Only those things which you require, you feel are important, and you think you don't remember, which need to be written down. I think that is very necessary, making notes for them. So you need to be selective in identifying which topics you need to make notes for. Answer writing, optional, sociology, ये सब, I think I will make another video. So this session is only meant for prelims 2024. Any other questions? कोचिंग करना ज़रूरी है क्या यूपीएससी के लिए? दैट इज़ कम्प्लीटली योर कॉल. फॉर मी, आई हैव टेकन अप कोचिंग बिकॉज I come from a unconventional background. I was a cricket player, so I didn't have much idea about UPSC. So I had taken up coaching, so that had helped me. But for you, I think it is completely your call. There are a lot of online sources available, which can supplement your preparation. So if you think coaching is really necessary, then go ahead. Otherwise, it is completely your call. Sir, is it possible to crack in the first attempt? I think it totally depends on your preparation. Your preparation, if you're confident enough, I think nothing like it. So it is not something I can't tell you. I can tell you, sorry. So how to approach history? History, I think history, for me, I've gone through, for art and culture, I've gone through Nitin Singhania book for art and culture, and for modern history, Spectrum, and for ancient and medieval history, I've gone through the Tamil Nadu NCERT of 11th and 12th. So I think that is those are my sources. My approach would be, I think, as I already mentioned, regular revision and discussions have helped me in remembering the facts and making some mnemonics and identifying the timeline and remembering the timeline. Sometimes it is even if you know the timeline, you could answer some questions in prelims. So remembering the timeline would be helpful. And also, as I said, regular revision, regular discussions would help in history. So yeah, these are the major aspects that I wanted to touch upon. And finally, I have been getting a lot of messages on my Instagram handle as well, and also a lot of aspirants keep asking me, how do we stay motivated? How do we how do we keep ourselves up to the task during this preparation? UPSC preparation is not easy. It is difficult, and that is why the hype regarding UPSC. So there are two aspects to motivation which I feel. One is your internal motivation and the external motivation. Internal motivation need to be the driving force. You can't seek motivation all the time from an external source. So I would suggest, for me, the motivation was to be in a position, it is still the motivation for me, is to be in a position where I could bring up a positive change in the society and help the people around me. So that is the motivation that used to drive me during my preparation as well. In the first 3 attempts, I couldn't clear prelims. In the fourth attempt, after my third prelims attempt, there was a situation where I thought I was getting all the negative thoughts, where I thought I would end my life or something like that. These were the thoughts that I went through. But because the motivation inside me was so strong to be in a position of change and help people and make an impact in the society, I could sustain the tough times and clear the exam. So make sure you yourself are a motivation for you, and your urge to do something for the society, for the country, to do something good for the country should be so strong, right? And when you talk about the external motivation, always ensure that you're surrounded by positive people who can push you to take that extra mile. So it is very important for you to have positive people around you who can help you even in your difficult times. For me, such positive people have been my parents, my sister, my friends, my teachers, and the well-wishers. So even for you, you have to identify who those positive people are and make sure that you're surrounded by them. Yeah. So that's it from me. Lot of people are asking about current affairs preparation. All these things I've already mentioned. You can watch the recorded video again. For the newspaper and website, I read the Hindu newspaper. I supplemented it with the monthly current affairs and the PT 365 magazines. So in newspaper is compulsory, but don't make sure you read the newspaper, finish reading in 1 hour at the max. Don't spend 4 to 5 hours in reading the newspapers. So yes, that's it from my end. Thank you so much, and all the very best to each and every aspirant. Luckily, I am on the other side, so I would love to see all of you on this side of the spectrum as well. So all the best for prelims, and I'll make another session going forward. Once the prelims is over, then I can talk about the optional preparation and the mains preparation as well. Thank you.